everybody. It's Edward Furlong, aka John Connor here, and I just want to tell you that I've subscribed to Gonzo's Pinball Flipperama, the best pinball show on YouTube. Take it from me.
Right, now here's a video I've been looking forward to doing for quite some time. Seems like it's been a long time. This is a Terminator 2, but not just any other Terminator 2. It's pretty much the best refurb. I've not even had a close look at it yet, but the best refurb I've ever seen. This is a Terminator 2 on steroids. Ant has very kindly invited me round. If you're on Pinball Info, you'll have seen these threads, which you started up how long ago?
July last year.
Was it?
I think so, yeah.
So it's been a year?
It's been a year, yeah. Yeah, it's been a year. Yeah, this month, I think. Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to show you around the whole game. We're going to lift the bonnet up. We're going to have a look inside the back box, but we're going to see the wonderful attention to detail that Ant's gone to create this machine, show you it close up, and then just basically get an explanation and a little detailed description of hopefully pretty much everything on here. But before we give you the close up, why did you go to this much detail? Why Terminator 2?
Well, I mean, the first pinball I bought was a Judge Dredd, and like most people, that when they get the first one, you get the bug, then you want to get another one, and basically T2 come up on Facebook. It was actually a guy off the forum, I think Rich87 it might be. Bought it off of him in Essex just before Christmas, I think 2020. And yeah, I liked Terminator 2 as a kid. So yeah, why not? I bought it. Never had the inclination of doing anything to it. I knew nothing about this at all. Literally, when I got Judge Dredd, I didn't even know how to open the back glass. Nothing, literally nothing. And I literally got T2 probably about a month after Judge Dredd, so I still knew nothing about it. I knew how to switch them on. So when I got T2 and that, I thought, you know what, I'd like to maybe give it a go and sort of do it up and that. You know, I've done arcade machines, done loads of arcade machines, so I thought this would be the next step up. So yeah, I started sort of planning it, sort of February, March, started buying parts for it and looking how do you do it and that. So that's how it really started. But the difference between this, I think, why it's turned out the way it is, I still had the mindset of an arcade machine. When you restore an arcade machine, you do it original. Literally, you don't. If you start changing decals and stuff like that, you've devalued it. No one wants it. You know, it's a no-no in that hobby.
Sure.
And I think what I like to, and this is how this started. It started. I've got to keep it original. I still had that mindset. I was looking to get everything close to factory as possible. But then more I got involved in the hobby, I was like, actually, I quite like this. You can mod it and do all these bits to it you can't do usually on arcade machines. And that's how it sort of snowballed from there. So I had little ideas and I changed this, changed that. And that's where it went really. I'd never dreamed for it to start out like this, end like this. No way.
Well, I think you're just improving on the original concept, because I think obviously it's a Steve Richie game. I think if what Steve Richie had an unlimited bill of materials, and you'd like to think they would do all this stuff. I certainly remember with Star Wars, he wanted to have a magnet on it to act as the Force. He couldn't have the magnet on it because they couldn't afford it in the bill of materials. So I think all you're doing is expanding on the original concept anyway, which has to be limited, because particularly these machines, the idea was that they would go into a location and basically they were there to earn money, not to be beautiful. Artistic pieces, which is what this is.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've seen it. There's a chrome edition. It's called.
Yes.
Where the decals are silver and it's chrome. I thought, I quite like that. The problem with that is you can't buy any of that stuff anymore.
Well, I know Chris B's done one.
Yeah, and you can't buy the apron. The company made it. You can't do them. Nothing. You can't buy any of it. So I was like, well, that's out of the question. So that's how the ball started going with that. Is, can I find someone to make it, or can I make some of it? And that's where it sort of started from, the chrome edition. But I didn't want it to look like the chrome edition because quite a few people have done that. Chris B's done it, but I've seen a few around. So I thought I'd like mine to sort of stand out a bit more and then not just be a carbon copy of someone else's. So that's generally the idea where it came from.
Well, I've got a ton of questions. What I want to do now is get the camera off that tripod, get a closer look and start picking your brain. But I mean, it is It's stunning. You can't see it yet. You're going to see it in a second when it. We'll get it really, really close. But I want to, as I say, I want to pick your brains on all this. So just one question before we do.
Yeah.
Before you started tinkering with it, and before you started to realise it, were you aware of other sort of pinball refurbs or the Chrome Edition? Were you aware that it was something that is done? Had you seen other completely restored pinball machines before?
No, I'd done some. At that time, I just joined, I think, Pinball Info, and I was Pinside. I started looking at sort of getting ideas, researching it.
Okay.
I was getting information of researching of what they look like. But at that time, I was like, I need it original. It needs to be original.
Yeah.
Nothing changes on it. And that's all it was. I wasn't going to mod it. I wasn't going to do anything. It was just going to new old stock, and I still had that in my head, but. That's all it was.
Well, I'm glad you haven't. Same with this, same with a lot of them. Same what Chris has done. Keith's done some wonderful ones. Davey's Creature from the Black Lagoon. Hint. If you've got any other restorations that you want filmed and stuck on the channel, I'm happy to go around your house certainly and drink your fridge dry and certainly chuck the camera around. Right, let's go and have a look at it now. And here she is. But I'm going to just pan around the machine first before I start asking any questions and see what I've spotted. Now, some of this stuff I'm aware of because of the thread. Look at the lights. The Terminator's eyes are lit. Not just those on the cabinet. Look at the back box. They're lit. It's amazing. The topper, look, we're going to discuss all of this stuff, but look at that. I mean, there's just so much gorgeous stuff to look at on here. Let me show you the hinges here. And is that etched? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
it's etched.
laser etched on all the chrome.
Now, I'm going to try and do what I can to show this off in the best light. It's not the easiest thing in the world to film chrome, actually. So let me just get a little angle on that. But I'm sure you can... There you go. That's the angle. I was blocking out a bit of the light. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. Now look at the external corner of that cabinet. Again, I'm going to link the thread on Pinball Info on here. You've got to have a look at this stuff. You really do. The attention to detail. There's a start button. This is just spectacular. Obviously, we've got a massive reflection in it because it's so highly polished. It's gorgeous. There's the gun. Look at that. Even the little Williams logo etched on there. And then just on here as well. It's amazing. Just a little scan of the Playfield. Well, actually, before the Playfield. I don't know, I'll let you lot who are watching decide what you think is the most stunning thing about this machine. But as Ant was saying a second ago, I have to get the story about this because you couldn't do the Chrome Edition because you couldn't get the apron. Well, there's an apron there. Little scan of the Playfield. It's amazing. There's going to be things that I haven't even noticed on here. The D1000, that is the T1000, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the 1000,
Yeah. Now this, there's an interesting story behind this as well. This is not the original stuff here. The sort of exoskeleton that comes with it. So, I literally don't know where to start. And even little things, actually, like the bracket that the glass slides into at the top.
Yeah.
Even that's been done.
Yeah. This
is a crazy amount of attention to detail. Where do we start? Go on.
Backboard there with the Skynet. Can you see on the chrome backboard there? Right
oh, my words. Yes, look. The backboard, look, just behind it in red there. Mate, at what point did you stop and think, I've probably done it all?
I think after I did the T800 skull, I think once I'd done that, there's not much else you can fit on this. There are other mods you can get on it, but I think it gets a bit... Overkill and gets a bit tacky. Like you can get a police car, a helicopter and...
But they might look out in place because everything here is chrome, isn't it?
Exactly. So
Tell us about the skull.
So the original, most might have seen, the original skull that came with it was this plastic half a skull basically, and the wire form is hidden behind it, so it's really cheap and cheerful and that. And the one that I got on this was literally glued together with Arrow dye. It was falling apart. So there is a mod you can do on it with a plastic skull, and that's one I originally bought on it that a lot of people on Pinside have done. And again, but it's plastic and it weren't shiny enough basically for me. So I looked at another option, which was what's on there now. But this was sort of, it's like a pot. So I was like, well, how can I get this to work? I'd like the wire form to actually go in the head. So it actually is coming out of the skull instead of just behind it. So I got one, I had to basically, got my Dremel out and I had to, basically cut the complete inside out and grind it away and that and shape it till it fitted.
And then once you've done that, you've sent it off to the chromers who, I'm sure you were busy boys with all your stuff.
Yeah, well, the skull isn't actually metal, so that's just resin and that, so that was already chromed.
Okay.
The T1000 is 3D printed, but I bought some chrome paint because they come like a gunmetal grey colour.
Sure.
And I painted that up in a chrome paint. The Hunter Killer ship there, that came already polished like that.
Oh, it's moving. It's
so
moving. Brilliant.
That moves that. Again, the original on the game is just a really thin bit of plastic that just sits there. Like,
yes, doesn't move.
Does nothing. Most of the stuff on this does nothing. The only thing that moved on it originally is the cannon. But again, that was all polished up. And then, I either polished some of it myself. The chrome, obviously, I had chromed, but a lot of the stainless steel I polished up.
Tell us about the apron.
So the apron, I had the design in my head of what I wanted. So I wanted the skull, which is the Skynet symbol. And I'd like Williams on it. I wanted to keep some sort of originality with it, Williams on the etching at the front. And there was a guy on Pinside that had done something similar. Then he did it himself, and I contacted him and got to know him. And he lives in the Netherlands, and he said, send me the designs, what you want, and I'll see what I can do. So I designed it up, sent him some crude designs, and that's what he did.
So hold on, so he did it, he cut it out and bent it out the metal basically?
He laser cut it out.
Okay.
To my design, bent all the metal and that, and then sent it to me. It's stainless steel, or you could have it in mild steel, so you could have it polished up or powder coated. But I had it chromed, and then I added all the acrylic and lighting effects to it.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, it just looks sensational. What about this topper? What's the idea of that? Same guy did it, or somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, the same guy. He did the laser cutting on the front, because you'd never get, that's a laser cut. You can only do that on a machine. And then I welded it all together and basically made it a 3D object, is what it is now. The upstands, or the little legs on it as well. When I originally fitted it, it was too short, so when you were playing the game, you couldn't read the Cyberdyne systems because it was too low. So I had to come up with an idea to raise it. So I had them machined out of some solid billet, just so they just weren't square blocks.
Sorry, I'm just admiring your fine work on the on the back of the. I mean, you really have done everything on there, haven't you?
Yeah, the rear's got screen printed on it as well.
We discussed earlier these washers that are just by the bolts, little reds. Well, you might not even be able to see them, but there's so much small detail here. You probably can see them there. So.
Yeah, I mean, all the plastic parts, like with the little washers like that, the cable ties, I dyed red.
So what about... Yeah, well, I need to have a look at these cable ties. I know you contacted Davey about that.
Yeah.
I think that's a great effect. Those eyes. Why? Sorry, before we get to the next bit, my brain's all scattergun. I'm seeing so much stuff. Why the eyes? I do remember you posting the thread there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny story, that one. I had the idea after I fitted the new decals on it, and I thought, I should have maybe done that before I obviously fitted these brand new decals and that. It looked really good with these eyes. And then I was thinking, should I do it or shouldn't I do it? Just in case I didn't want to mess it up, because then I'd have to obviously rip out all the decals and start again. And then one morning, I remember waking up. I had a few drinks the night before. I remember waking up thinking, yeah, I think I've drilled those eyes last night. And you know when you get that feeling of you immediately wake up. I immediately woke up.
Yeah.
I was wide awake. I jumped out of bed.
No cup of coffee or anything.
Yeah, it was literally, yeah. I'd run down to the garage to check them out to make sure, are they straight? Did they look wonky? Were they boss-eyed? And luckily, everything was straight. But I don't really remember doing them, that's the thing.
So you've gone to the pub or something, come back and thought it was a good idea to drill the cabinet?
Yeah, I had the confidence, obviously, had a few bevies and that, and thought, yeah, I'll give it a go.
Well, I think they look sensational. One thing I said when myself and Ant were chatting earlier, I just can't. I've tried so many times with so many different mirrored back glasses. I cannot do this justice. I just can't. You just can't do it with mirrored back glasses, unfortunately. It's stunning. It possibly just looks like a normal back glass when you're watching this. It's not. Got to say again, there's a little even here, like the attention to detail and to the extent you've gone with the cabinet work. Now, I've been lucky enough to just go into your workshop a minute ago. I can see to what sort of levels you do when repairing, because you're doing an Addams Family on there at the moment. It's amazing to see this sort of level of workmanship, really.
Yeah, I mean, it does become a bit sort of OTT after a while, and that, you know, some of the stuff on it is pointless, really. But only I would notice it, or you know, someone like yourself would notice it. You know, no one else when they come around and have a look will see any of the stuff.
For sure, yeah. Well, I think you'd be surprised that if you're taking it to Pinfest. I think there'll be a lot of people who appreciate exactly what you've done here. What about the coin door?
Yeah, coin door was another collaboration with the guy in the Netherlands. Sent him the design of what I wanted. He cut it all out again. I had to really modify. I had to do a bit of welding on it as well, on the inside of the door. Fitted all the acrylic. But again, I have these great ideas, but I get it done, but then I get a sort of hit a roadblock because I don't think that far ahead on it, and I have to then modify it. I could show you on the inside of the door of what I had to do to get the acrylic.
Please do, yeah.
So my idea originally was to have all the LEDs around the door. So I thought, you know,
I remember on the thread you weren't happy with the lighting, how it turned out.
So I stuck them all around there, that would look good. Tested it out, it didn't shine at all. So I was like, oh, what am I going to do now? It was one of those moments again where I'm like, what do I do now? So I had to sort of drill into basically the acrylic here. I heated up some T-nuts, got them red hot, and I basically pushed them into the acrylic, so they basically melted into the acrylic. Yeah. So then I could bolt on this and have the LEDs attached that way.
Yeah, we can just see them in there. Yeah, I mean, it really works, though. It really works. And I've got to say, even stuff with the LEDs, like on the apron there. Look, listen, I can see what's going on here. Whereas the strips through the middle, but it actually gives it a really nice gradient in the way that the light spreads there. It's really nice as well. And I think that's a nice sort of dull glow rather than a bright red behind the skull, which again I really like that. You know, you've got really good attention to detail. I'm a big fan of star post lights, by the way, as well. I think they really set it off. I remember we were talking about Judge Dredd earlier. That's so dark. When I got mine, the first thing I was trying to do was lighten it up as much as I possibly could. The leg protectors, there's a story there. Yeah,
these here. This was another moment where I thought I've bitten off more than I can chew here. So I started the restoration, fitted the decals, really pleased with myself. The decals look brilliant. And you probably know the stern leg protectors now that you fit them so the leg doesn't actually sit on top of the decal. So I fitted them, added it to my thread on Pinball Info. Mm-hmm. And then I can't remember who it was. It might have been Andy, I think. It said, looks great, but why have you put them upside down? And I remember reading it thinking, upside down, he's having me on. And I went down there, put the leg up, and I fitted them upside down. And the problem is when you fit them, you have to cut the decal behind it. So because I fitted them upside down, I put them the right way round. Here, you could see where I'd cut the decal away, so it was just black.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, I've ruined all my work, and I'm going to have to start again. So I had to sit there thinking, how am I going to fix this? You know, I could put them on, but I know there's a bit missing. No one else would probably see it, but as you know, you know it's there, it would bug me. So I was thinking, do I fit the plastic, you know, the standard plastic ones on there, but that weren't going with the look I was after. So that's when I thought I'll make my own. So basically, I had to buy some mild steel, bent it up, cut it, shaped it, and yeah.
I think I'd have felt sick at that point.
I did.
Yeah,
it was one of those points where I actually felt sick.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to start all over again.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's just so much stuff on here just to look at. It is amazing. It is like a museum. You do like Terminator 2 as a film, don't you?
Yeah, it's all right. No, it's a good film.
Yeah, don't like the theme, yeah.
Yeah, no, I hate it.
Honestly, it is absolutely amazing. I mean, there's no stone left unturned. I'll tell you what, by the way, mirror blades, the right choice. The right choice to go with the mirrors rather than any art blade for this one.
Yeah.
It's just in keeping with the reflective sort of nature.
Again, those mirror blades I had to make myself.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Again, it goes back to the eyes. The eyes, I drilled the eyes, think it would look great, but then obviously the wires are coming through the other side into the cabinet. So how do you hide those? So what I initially did, again, this is on my thread, I neatly covered all the wires, and they look great. I stapled them to the side. It looked really neat. And then a light bulb popped on my head. I thought, you know what? I better put the Playfield in to make sure they don't hit. And I didn't think they would, so I put them in. It was all good, and until I got the Playfield near vertical, and then it was hitting the back wires of the lights. And again, I opened it and it just ripped the wires apart. And I was like, that was another moment where I thought, oh dear, I've drilled these holes and now I can't actually light the eyes. So how I got around that again was I thought, you know what, I'll router a load of grooves in the side. And this was after it was all decaled, all painted inside. I had to mask it all up, put it on its side with a router and router these grooves in to this nicely painted cabinet. And then I thought originally I'll fill it all, sand it so you can't see the wires. But then obviously if these bulbs ever blow, I've just buried the wires in a load of filler. So my idea then, after speaking to Collywobbles, who did my backboard, he mentioned that he used this stuff called mirror hips, which is like a plastic, but it looks like a mirror. It's 2 millimetre thick. And he said he had made some side blades, mirror blades from it before, but because they're 2 millimetre thick and standard stainless steel mirror blades are about 1.5, it was a bit too close and you're going to scratch them. So I thought I'll give it a go, because then I could cut them with a Stanley blade, really easy to cut with a straight edge and a Stanley blade. I could cut them to the shape and size I needed, which I can show you, that would hide all these grooves I've just routed in. So that was the reason why I had to do them, basically.
It's a stunner. Talking about hiding wires, fancy lifting that Playfield up?
Yeah.
So certainly I know another thing, having followed the progress of the game. I know when you did you say that you'd seen the video of Davy's creature and then you decided actually I want some of that braided stuff myself?
I saw it was his creature, and then I saw his fishtails.
Yes.
And then that's what made me think then actually I quite like the look at that.
They do look nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, who's going to see them? Basically,
no one.
You and a load of boring sods like me who, Okay. So obviously it is a new Playfield. That's not the one thing we haven't discussed.
Yeah, it's a brand new Playfield, full Playfield swap on it. All the metalwork was replated, new coils, new switches, new lamp holders. All the lamp boards were reflowed, full LED, Comet LEDs, pin sound. I reprinted all the little stickers and decals. Everything was reprinted.
Oh, really? Okay, that really is attention to detail.
I think one of the longest jobs was wrapping all the wires. It was mind-numbing.
But you said, again, you dyed the cable ties to make them red.
So all the cable ties and all the clips have all been dyed red.
Oh, nice touch on the coin box.
Yeah, so little stickers there, Skynet stickers I made and printed.
Black as well at the top, and the sticker, as you say. Even here, look.
Even little bits like this.
I like that. I did notice that. Little bit of felt along there.
A little bit of, basically, it's, what's it called?
Fluff.
Fluff, basically, yeah. Fluff, yeah. Just to stop it getting dented.
I like it.
And to help stop I don't know if you noticed this, these mirror blades get scratched up. I had those
Okay, I was going to ask earlier.
felt all cut down the side there.
Okay, so this is felt and
That's all
mate,
felt
honestly.
there. That's fitted to the inside of those.
So inside of the hinges.
And then I can't really show you, but if I lifted the back box,
Yeah.
I pointlessly added it underneath there as well. You can pick a bit up there, just so the underside won't get mullered. That goes all underneath.
Oh, mate. Well, I think that leaves one final thing. Is to drop that Playfield down and let me film you playing it, mate.
Yeah,
let's have a look at the ball flying around on it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's stunning, honestly. Really stunning. You know, it should be. Honestly, I say that, and I will label the video as something like the most outstanding refurb I've ever seen. But I mean, I've not ever seen attention to detail like this. But I'm so lucky to see so many of these fantastic machines. But you've gone above and beyond. You've set the bar pretty high for your Adams family. I'll tell you that much now. It is a stunner, a real stunner. Honestly, do you know what? I'm actually looking forward to people's reactions at Pinfest as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to people's reactions to this video, actually. Right, go on, fire it up. Let's see the ball flying round.
Now, pull the trigger.
Do they have, does the original have a post in the middle of it?
Yeah, original had the post.
That's great, that is great, that turn in there.
Lock sequence initiated.
It is absolutely amazing. Just going to go around this side to get the other angle.
As you can see, I'm complete rubbish.
Oh, so am I, don't worry about it. That's amazing.
Come with me if you want to live.
Brilliant, really bassy sound as well.
Yeah.
Lock sequence initiated.
And of course, worth saying, you've had that ramp chromed as well.
Yeah, that's polished, all polished up and that.
Oh yeah, so polished, not chromed.
All the plates there are polished.
Yeah.
Straight down the middle.
I gotta say, if you do see this at Pinfest, please do treat it with a bit of care and love. It's immaculate. I was even worried about even just touching it then, to be fair, getting my fingerprints all over it.
Lock sequence initiated. Deploy the hunter killer.
Okay.
Fire at will.
Oh, that works really well, that sequence there. I love the hunter-killer sort of searching, isn't it? So it's in search mode. The cannon there works really well. tell you what I like about the DMD as well, it's not got too many colours in it. It's quite, sticks to the colour scheme, doesn't it? You know, it's mostly blues and reds. Amazing. Well, and thank you so much for sharing this. Well, not just for myself, but everybody that's going to watch it. Because I know people have been really interested in viewing the thread. I know you had some great comments on there, and I'm sure there'll be a ton of great comments on here. We will be back, funny enough, because we'll have a look when you've eventually finished your next project, which is obviously Adam's Family.
Adam's Family, yeah.
Got for punishment, not had enough of you.
I know, yeah. So that'll be next.
Yeah, mate, honestly. There you go, folks. Terminator 2. Well, I was going to say by Williams, but it ain't really. Not anymore. Tony and the Chinwag, which actually the Chinwag's not out yet, did compare Matt's Attack from Mars to Trigger's Broom. This has definitely got a bit of that about it. Wonderful attention to detail. It's amazing, mate. You should be really, well, I'm sure you are really proud of yourself. It's really quite an achievement. And I think, as I always say, with anything like this, you know, these things were designed to go into location, earn a bit of money, and then a lot of them end up on the rubbish tip. And I do always think, you know, you're custodians of these machines, and it was never designed to be around this long. And
100%.
you know, for it to now, you know, be like this, you know, you've done something wonderful there, mate.
Cheers.
And you know, so listen, congratulations, and thank
Thanks
you
a
for
lot.
having me around, mate.